What's up everyone, Dr. Charles here, and I'm going to talk about one of the most popular topics out there, which is peptide therapy. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, what you should stay away from 100%, and which peptides are actually working, and the most popular ones that are working. We're going to go over the Wolverine Stack, BP-157, TB-500. We're going to go over Sermorelin, Tirzepatide, Semaglutide, and we're also going to go over the brand new hyper bioavailable NAD+. So stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. For context, my name is Dr. Charles. I'm a board certified medical doctor, but this is not medical advice. If you want medical advice, please talk to your medical provider. So with that said, let's just jump in. Here is the Wolverine Stack. So what this is BP-157 plus TB-500. And the people who've named it the Wolverine Stack are doing so because they're stating that they're having increased healing times, and injuries which have been there for a long time are looking like they're healing and doing so pretty quickly. So let's just dive into the science and see why that may or may not be happening. So if you have a tendon injury, you have a muscle strain or a nagging joint problem, or just really feel like your body isn't recovering the way it used to, that's usually the main reason why people go and try to use the Wolverine Stack. So the Wolverine Stack combines two very important peptides, which are BP-157 and TB-500. BP-157 may actually help support and repair tissue growth through two main proposed mechanisms. The first is preclinical research is suggesting that it may influence something called VEGF and nitric oxide signaling. Now, what this does is help stimulate a process called angiogenesis, which can help new blood vessel formation, and nitric oxide helps regulate the blood flow and blood vessel function. Now together, these pathways may actually help improve the delivery of oxygen, nutrients, and help to repair cells of damaged tissues. Secondly, BP-157 may actually support fibroblast migration and collagen remodeling. Now, fibroblasts are the cells that produce collagen and rebuild connective tissue. And laboratory research suggests that BP-157 may actually influence signaling pathways involving something called FAK, Paxilin, ERK, and AKT. These four pathways can help repair tissues by moving cells into an injured area. Now, TB-500 approaches recovery through a little bit of a different pathway. It's related to something called thymosin beta-4, a naturally occurring protein involved in actin regulation. Actin helps maintain the cell structure and mitigation. Think of it like a scaffolding protein for your cells. So by influencing actin dynamics, thymosin beta-4 related compounds may help to repair cells to move towards the damaged tissue more easily through the scaffolding-like structure. Also, TB-500 is discussed for potential effects of helping to mitigate or reduce inflammation and support the angiogenesis process through extracellular matrix remodeling, which is just the stuff around your cells. That's called extracellular matrix, and it can help remodel that in a way that supports decreased inflammation and healthy blood vessel growth. And this may help the body transition from the inflammatory phase of an injury into the rebuilding and remodeling phases of wound repair. So the theory behind combining a BP-157 is to help support local blood flow and connective tissue repair, while TB-500 may support the broader cellular migration and tissue remodeling, working in a synergistic fashion. However, it's important to know while many peptides are coming off of the ban list, they're still not FDA approved, and if you are going to get any peptides, whether they be research grade or pharmacy grade, you want to make sure to talk with your doctor before getting these, even though some of them may have incredible benefits. The number one reason being is some of these research peptides are not regulated at all. You want to make sure you're getting something that is from the United States, that is from a 503A pharmacy, and that can actually help you and at the same time be safe. Now let's talk about this hyper bioavailable NAD+. NAD+ is often discussed alongside many peptides because of its ability to help with cellular energy and mitochondrial function. So the mitochondria is essentially the powerhouse of the cell and your entire body. It makes all the energy in the form of something called ATP. How do you make ATP? Well, there's two ways. You have to breathe in oxygen, and the second way is you have to make NAD. Well, how do you make NAD? That's mostly through calories. So essentially the entire purpose of eating is to make this NAD. And then your body inside the mitochondria takes this thing called oxygen and NAD+ and combines it together to make ATP, which allows us to see, to move, to talk, to even breathe. And so NAD is a very essential function. And if you have damaged mitochondria or mitochondria that are not producing enough as you get older, you may have chronic brain fog, you may have some fatigue, you may not be able to perform in the gym the way you have before. So NAD supplementation as you get older can help mitigate these processes. Also, what's been seen is even for hair regrowth. The mitochondria in your hair are very active, among some of the most active in the body. So if you're looking to enter the anagen phase or hair regrowth phase, it would make sense you need a little bit extra energy, and NAD definitely has the potential to help supply this. Now, it's important to know with NAD, there's many different types of form of it, even NMN, and the majority does not work really well. And typically people had to go into a clinic and pay $500 to $1,500 per month to get this intravenously into their body. However, there's a brand new hyper bioavailable NAD. It's a small insulin syringe injection with about 10 to 30 milligrams as the average dose being given. Again, I'm not recommending a dose, but this is the average dose people are using, and they're doing it subcutaneously with the same effects of doing it intravenously, which is incredibly impactful. But again, make sure you talk to your doctor if this is something that you're looking to get. Next is Sermorelin. Now, a lot of people are talking about Sermorelin right now. Some people are calling it part of the main 4 of your longevity stack. The first 2 we just discussed. Sermorelin is an analog of something called growth hormone, which goes down as we get older. So Sermorelin is actually designed to stimulate the body's own growth hormone signaling rather than just supplying growth hormone directly, and it works through 2 main mechanisms. First, Sermorelin acts as an analog of growth hormone by releasing growth hormone through the body in a process called GHRH, or growth hormone releasing hormone. After administration, Sermorelin binds to growth hormone releasing hormone receptors on your cells in the pituitary gland and activates the signaling pathways to actually help stimulate growth hormone naturally in the body in pulses rather than in a constant level. So some of the largest pulses occur during sleep, which is why Sermorelin is frequently administered at night and is linked to better sleep performance. So unlike directly injecting growth hormones, Sermorelin still depends on the pituitary gland's ability to respond. And the reason why we like this is because it creates a natural feedback loop and can stimulate natural growth hormone and IGF-1, which not only can help with sleep, but can help with things like increasing lean muscle mass, which is one of the #1 predictors of morbidity and mortality when you can get sick and even die, and also to help regulate your metabolic profile, aiding in decreasing of LDLs and even in some cases increasing your HDLs, which is an added benefit in addition to helping sleep and to increase your lean muscle mass. So now let's talk about 2 very important peptides, being Semaglutide and Tirzepatide. Now, these are not the same GLP-1s. Semaglutide is just a GLP-1, whereas Tirzepatide is considered a 4th generation gliptin, or a GLP-1 plus a GIP, which stands for a gastrointestinal peptide, which means it works in a little bit of a different fashion and has an added benefit. Semaglutide works by mimicking the effects of a naturally occurring hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1. So semaglutide acts to support weight loss and metabolism by controlling 2 primary mechanisms. The first mechanism involves appetite signaling in the brain. So semaglutide can actually activate receptors in the brain to suppress appetite and induce a sensation of fullness a little bit more quickly. However, this effect can also contribute to some nausea, some reflux, some bloating and constipation in some patients, especially if it's not titrate appropriately or if the compound is not pure. The second mechanism of the GLP-1s involves blood sugar regulation. So when blood glucose levels are elevated, semaglutide helps the pancreas to release insulin in a glucose-dependent manner. It also reduces the inappropriate glucagon release. So glucagon is a hormone that signals the liver to increase stored glucose. Because these effects are glucose-dependent, semaglutide has a lower risk of causing hypoglycemia by itself than other medications that can stimulate insulin regardless of blood sugar levels. So it kind of has its own internal compass to know when to release certain levels of insulin and glucagon in the body. However, the risk can increase when it's combined with insulin or certain other diabetic medications. So in summary, semaglutide can make eating a calorie deficit diet a lot easier, but appetite suppression alone is not the entire goal. Patients still need adequate protein, resistance training, hydration, fiber, sleep, and micronutrients. Otherwise, the rapid weight loss can include unnecessary loss of muscle and strength and can even rebound into further weight gain when you stop taking it. So it's really important to speak with a doctor and make sure you have a plan to titrate these appropriately so that you're getting the benefits with limited amount of side effects. Next is Tirzepatide. So Tirzepatide is one of our clinic's favorite medications to use, and we like it because you can titrate it in a much more effective way and use a lower dose to help mitigate side effects. And you can do this because it's a GLP-1 plus a GIP. GIP and GLP work together, and when you combine them in the same medication, you can use a little bit of a lower dose because you're combining two synergistic pathways. One is you're helping to regulate your insulin and glucagon as well as appetite through the GLP-1 pathway, and the GIP pathway is another one that you can help to regulate not only your gastric emptying, but also help to further regulate your insulin and glucose response. So these two work together synergistically, and the way we like to do it is to use a lower titrated dose. That way you have less side effects, and we believe can be much more effective than just a GLP alone. Some of the other reported benefits are incredibly profound when using Tirzepatide. Some of the things we've seen in the research are decrease in total body inflammation, even being protective of the kidneys, and the metabolic profile signaling can also be profound in the fact that it can decrease LDLs while increasing your HDLs. Now, we've never seen a medication like this before, but it is a very impressive peptide. It just has to be given in the correct titrated dose. If you're not doing that, you can get incredible amount of side effects the same way as you will with a GLP-1. That's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about peptides, stem cells, or exosomes, there's a link down in the description to speak with me or one of our specialists completely free. There'll also be a video on screen that you can click, which goes in more depth on regenerative care and how you can better take care of your body. But as always, make sure you're consulting with a doctor when it comes to your health. That's always going to be the best thing going forward. So make sure to click the link, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.